Hi, good afternoon to everyone coming in. Wow, it's nice to see ang dami na agad pumapasok. Wow, I see some familiar names here. Actually, for many, baka hindi pa ka familiar, but we're gonna introduce ourselves later on. Ayan.
Good
Okay,
afternoon.
yes, good afternoon. To everyone just entering, let's get a little engagement from the crowd. Feel free to chat in the chat box what your name is and where you're tuning in from. So we see from wherever the world you are. Ayan na. Ayan, we have Mia Nate from Legazpi City, Albay. Wow, hi Mia. Of course, we have our very own Nikki Vergara from Quezon City. Hi Nikki. Hi Pau. And hi Miss Christine C from Makati City. Wow, oh, we have so many. Wow, ang dami naman. Gabby, why don't you say some names? Ang dami nila, grabe.
Oo nga, and I'm seeing some familiar names. Christine is here, and she's from Makati City. I also saw April from Davao City, Alma.
Yeah, I see an Emma Dicini from QC and Jill Gerard Guevara from Mandaluyong. Wow, amazing names. Wow, ang dami talaga. Of course, Jose from Makati, Axel from Cavite. Hello everyone. Ayan. To those that have friends who are also waiting to enter the call, please tell them it's free to enter already. Ayan. We will be starting shortly. Yan. I'm loving it already so far, Gabby. Such engagement from the crowd.
Yes, we have a very active set of participants as always, Alma. Oh, look! Jed is from Mandaluyong, and there's Jonelyn from Pangasinan.
Wow. Ang dami from Cavite. Dana. Ang dami. Hi, May Joy from Laguna. Yan. It's so great to see everyone here.
We also have Alexander from Legazpi City, Albay. And we also have participants joining in from Cagayan de Oro City.
Ayan. For those who just entered, ayan, we also have Rizalina from Valenzuela. We have Edita from Candelaria. Thank you so much. For everyone talaga messaging, thank you. We really love the engagement. We have a very, very exciting topic prepared for you today. Ayan. Let's just wait a couple more minutes before we get started. Alright, okay. Sige, that's great. Sige, I guess we can start now, Gabby. So, hello everyone. To our free webinar series of today. Of course, nakikita niyo naman yung title namin for today is LifeCraft, Designing an Authentic and Well-Crafted Life. I think this is such an amazing topic and very, very needed at the time, no? For people like me, let's say, who are from a younger crowd, always wanting to find direction in life, this will really, really be very interesting for me. But I feel like it just won't be interesting for me, no, Gabby?
Yes, of course. It's also interesting for those of us who are already working, and alam mo yun, yung parang we want a step up from what we are usually doing.
Yeah, so I agree. So, and we've been talking, but we haven't actually introduced ourselves. So why don't we get on with that? So hi, my name is Luis Almazar. You know, you guys can call me Alma. I know we're not the usual people that moderate for our free webinars. Some of you guys might be used to seeing John Baluyot or Nikki Vergara, our CEO and CWO respectively. But we're here to introduce ourselves because very soon you're gonna see our faces a lot more frequently. So hi again, my name is Alma. I'm new to the team. I am a business development associate of Positive Workplaces, and joining me is my very amazing co-host.
Thank you, Alma. Hello, everyone. I'm Gabby. You can call me Gabby. I'm the Learning and Development Associate of Positive Workplaces. And I'm sure some of you I've already seen in our previous webinars.
Yes, and we're excited to move forward with what we have planned for today. So ayon, before we start things we always start with this, of course. And that is our mission statement. Our mission statement is we co-create cultures that enhance the well-being of the Filipino workforce. No, that's quite amazing. Now, that's a mission drafted by our very own CEO and CWO, John and Nikki, who really place so much importance in improving work life here in the Philippines. If ever you're the type of person that hates Mondays, they want to make you love Mondays. And ayan, so I just want to talk about it more, just a little bit. It might seem like such a blanket statement, no? To think na we want to enhance the well-being of the Filipino workforce. But how, in fact, do we do that here in positive workplaces? Pwede mo bang sabihin na if we work with one company, two companies, or more, that we're actually able to fulfill our mission to enhance the entire well-being of the Filipino workforce? It's hard to see, no? It's actually what brings us to what this next part of our presentation is, which is positivity ripples. Now, this is sort of like our attack plan or tactic when it comes to how we go forward with our mission. So, for starters, what we try to do here in positive workplaces is we start from the very core of it all, which is, of course, you guys. So we do that by leading the self. How do we do that? We teach you that through the various content we offer in positive workplaces, may it be our webinars like this one, in-house trainings, and many more products that we offer. So we teach you guys how to improve your well-being through motivation and many more concepts. So after leading the self, we can now move forward. Kasi like they say nga, tulad ng nasa plane, na when you put on your oxygen mask, you have to put it on before you start helping others. So it's the same thing in leadership. So for after leading the self, you can now lead others. Ayan. See, it's a great message, diba? So it starts with leading yourself before you can lead the well-being of others. And with each of you leading others, influencing others, we can then create cultures that benefit everyone. Cultures that increase motivation, cultures that promote compassion. These are the examples of the kinds of cultures that we try to promote here in positive workplaces. And if all these cultures rather are spread, then we can have what we call positive workplaces. Now, this is what we try to do in positive workplaces. This is the positivity ripple. It's very intuitive, no? Pero if I want you guys to remember just one thing, the most important thing is that it really starts from the self. And that is what we aim to do here today in today's free webinar, right, Gabby?
Yes, I agree with you on that, Alma. And that's actually the reason why we really put that much effort in crafting these public webinars for you. So this year, we started off with championing life goals. Ako na lang ulit, taking my life back from the pandemic. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure the past 2 weeks has been rough, let alone the past 2 years. Na
Mm-hmm.
parang we feel na the uncertainty is eating us all up. That's why we want to put control back to you. So last week with Cliff, he discussed practical tips on how to help you get unstuck through life design. And this afternoon, our very, very good speakers from LifeCraft, they're going to discuss designing an authentic and well-crafted life. And next week, me and my positive psychology partner, Gio, who's also in the audience with us this afternoon, will be
Yes.
discussing life-sustaining habits for better well-being.
Mm-hmm.
So just a few reminders before we start, because we're really, really already excited to start, right, Alma?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are.
So just a few reminders, make sure that you have another device ready because we're going to use Mentimeter for this afternoon. And also prepare some paper, pens, and drawing materials because our facilitators have some exciting activities for you. You can also participate through the chat box. So if ever you have insights or you have questions, just share them there. Alma and I will be monitoring them so that we can also share it with our facilitators.
Yes, please do. Please do.
And of course, answer the evaluation form so that you can get your certificate for this afternoon session. So without further ado, I would like to introduce to you our two facilitators this afternoon. So we have Coach Karen Cindy, who is the corporate coach and co-founder of LifeCraft. And for the past 19 years, she has trained more than 15,000 corporate professionals from the
Wow.
top 1,000 companies in the Philippines and personally coached more than 1,500 leaders locally and globally in diverse
Mm,
industries through her transformational cellular level trainings and coaching sessions, which I'm sure we're going to see this afternoon.
amazing, amazing.
And we also have Prof. D or Prof. Jose W.B. de Colon. So he is a futurist and a co-founder of LifeCraft as well. He's also the managing director for corporate foresight at Embigan Consulting. Jose is also an adjunct faculty for the School of Executive Education and Lifelong Learning, as well as for the Aboitiz School of Innovation, Technology, and Entrepreneurship in the Asian Institute of Management, where he developed and continues to deliver the Futures Thinking course for the Master of Science in Innovation and Business program. So, Alma, without further ado,
We'd like to
let
present you Coach Karen Cindy and Prof. T. Ayan.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, good
Good to be
afternoon.
here. Good
It's great to
afternoon.
be here. Thanks a
Yes.
Yeah.
lot for that really great introduction, Gabby and Alma.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And thank you to Positive Workplaces for bringing us today to all of you. Maraming salamat muli, Gabby and Alma, for those introductions. To John and Nikki, thank you as well. And to Joyce, who's also part of the team today. So welcome, everybody, to LifeCraft. I'm going to be sharing my screen shortly. But hi, Jose. Here we are.
Yes, we're very excited. We're
I'm
very
so
excited. It's
excited.
going to
Yeah.
be a jam-packed hour. So I hope everyone, you get yourselves ready. This is the great time for a siesta. So hopefully you won't sleep this afternoon, but hopefully find something useful, something that you can bring to your life and immediately implement right after this session.
Indeed. And so, welcome everybody to LifeCraft, how to lead an authentic and well lived life. How are you all doing? So, I want to see some emoticons on the screen. I know Alma and Gabby asked you earlier how you're all doing, but how are you doing today? How are you feeling today? Tap those emoticons on your screen, put a heart or express yourself. So you can tap on the chat box like, Cindy, I'm hungry right now, or Cindy, I need a coffee, or maybe Cindy, I'm just, oozing with good vibes. Let us know how you're feeling. Put that in the chat box. Feeling okay, or if you're feeling a bit meh, that's fine too. And we are so excited to bring this course to you today, and we're going to go get down to it. So I want everybody in the room to declare this. So if you want to unmute yourselves, feel free. Okay. Everybody in the room, regardless of what you're going through. And I mean, I know it is an understatement to say regardless of what you are going through, right? Yes. Do you agree? If you agree with me, could you put a yes on the chat box? I want to see yeses there. Yeah. I want to see that. I'm looking at the yes, yes, yes. Love it, love it, loving the yeses. Everyone's on fire today. Loving it. Okay, so regardless of what life throws our way, we can choose how we're going to embrace this day. Agreed? Yes. If you agree with me, I want you to say yes. Yeah, just show me the action. Come on, Gabby. Come on, Alma. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Jose. There we go. Everybody, why? Just by simply doing that is what we call body prayers and embodiment. When you embrace that, then you say yes. It is telling the universe, yes, I am embracing this day. And no matter what, today is still the best day of my life. You can put that in the chat box because why is it still the best day of your life? Something you're grateful for. Okay. So while you're writing that down, I want to tell you that this is the principle behind LifeCraft. Why did Jose and I put this course together? Okay. What is it? What is it about the course? Okay. LifeCraft is about embracing ownership of the life that you wish to create. It is about leading an authentic and well-lived life. And I know a lot of us have heard, Cindy, what does it mean to be authentic? In a world full of influencers. And I'm not judging the influencers. I know there's some in the house today, right? I'm just saying that where is the line? And the only person who can answer that is you. And today, we're gonna dive deep. Ang ganda nga ng title natin, di ba? Which is Ako Naman Ulit, right? Taking back that power and leading with the self, as what Alma and Gabby said earlier, that leading the self is critical. And so let us begin. Let us embrace this life. If you agree with me, say boom right there. Boom, I'm ready. Put that in the chat box. Put that in the chat box right now. Boom, yes. Because that boom, do you feel that in your body right now? Yeah, shake it off. Shake off anything
Nice.
that is bringing you down today. If you want to stand up and stretch, do it right now, because I'm going to pass this right straight to Jose in just a couple of seconds. And we're going to talk about your lives and the 4 aspects of life that are critical to designing it. So shake it off, move that body, and listen up. Get ready. Look at your environment. Look at the scenery in front of you. Are you ready to dive deep? If you are, put a 1 in the chat box. 1, because you are number 1. Put that right now, this moment, the next hour and a half, you're number 1. Put a 1 in the chat box. Come on. I want to hear that. I want to see from everywhere. Calbayog, Valenzuela, Mindanao, Luzon, Visayas. There we go. Beautiful. Jose, your turn. Turning it over to you about life and what this is all about today, the 4 aspects of our life. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Cindy. And I like what you said about today being the best day of your life.
Yeah.
And some people might ask, what will happen tomorrow, right? And tomorrow can also be the best day of your life. And you're right, Cindy, that it is a choice. It is a decision that we make. And let's now go to, before we go into talking about steps and how you can claim your life back, how you can say, ibalik natin sa sarili natin, di ba?
Yeah.
So let's talk about how is your life? And here we're not talking about having a perfect life. I think that's such an ideal, no? And some people, they get even more stressed because they seem to think that they're very far away from that idea. And as you can see in this quote, and it's one of our favorite quotes, Cindy and I, better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. So if you lead an authentic life, if you lead a life that's truly yours, even though it may not be perfect in the eyes of others, it is perfect just for you. And that's the kind of life that we want to lead. And when we talk about our life, we're not just talking about work, right? Although probably for those people who know me in the past, my work was my life. And maybe some of you can relate to that. Or it could just be relationships, no, for some. And they say, when they love someone, they give everything to that person. So, but what we're saying is there's more to life than that. Actually, life is composed of these 4 different aspects. And what we want, part of living an authentic life is you're not just about work. You're not just about relationships. You're not just about having fun or just thinking about your health. You're actually looking at these 4 different dimensions. And I'm going to explain each one because after this, we're going to rate all together using Mentimeter. So we'll give you where you're going to answer in a while. But I want you to take down, as we go through each of these dimensions, I want you to take down, what would your score be? If you're going to rate yourself from a 0 to a 5, 5 being the highest, how would you rate it as a whole? But again, don't overthink, right? Think of what comes most naturally to you. So if we talk about work, and for many of us, this is quite important. It's the aspect of your life where you get paid to do stuff. It includes, let's say, your 8-hour shift, or it can even include your side business, or even volunteer work. Okay, if you're staying at home, and some of you might be doing it, taking care of your loved ones, whether your kids, your grandparents, your relatives, even friends, or even your pets, doing household chores and ensuring your home is maintained, all of these in a way are counted as work. Okay, so take stock of your work. How much time and effort do you spend on this? So you rate that. Okay, from 0 to 5. And do you feel empty or fulfilled with your work? Again, giving it, from, a really high, it's really fulfilling for you, or is it really low, or is it somewhere in between? Okay, and later on, we're going to ask you to answer. The second dimension is health. Okay, and here we're not just about physical health. Obviously, it's very important. especially now more than ever, right? Where we have another surge, right? And I was listening to the news earlier, it could easily be like 5 times. The actual numbers could actually be 5 times more, right? And we haven't even hit the ceiling yet, the peak. So there's a lot of, I would say, physical health challenges that all of us are facing, or even our families or our friends. But here we also talk about your mental health and also about your spiritual health. Okay. How do you feel about your relationship with yourself? Okay. And this is, for some, you might have heard, right? Health is wealth, and health is the foundation of it all. So the bedrock of living a best life is a healthy body, mind, and spirit. So take stock of your health. Again, giving it a rating. How much time and effort do you actually spend and concentrate on this? And how empty or how fulfilled are you in terms of how you see your physical, mental, and emotional health? Now, the third aspect relates to pockets of joy, right? So in a way, this is like fun. As it implies, these are the stuff that make your heart sing. It may include more serious and organized work, in quotation marks, but most of the time you do this because it's a lot of fun, you know, and it can be as simple as enjoying your time alone for the introverts who are out there, or having your coffee in the morning, or for those who are parents, having time with your kids, or for those who are very sporty, having time to do your sports or to go running, or reading a book for some, or just binging on Netflix. So how much time, how much effort in terms of fun, pockets of joy, as we'd like to call it, do you spend on it? Okay. Is it a lot, or is it not many, or kulang na kulang? And in terms of the joy in your life, are you feeling empty, or are you really filled and brimming with joy? So again, giving it a rating. So again, we won't ask you to share your answers. Later on, when you do respond, it's all going to be consolidated together. So there's no right or wrong answer here. Although I would say that there is a wrong answer if you're not honest to yourself. So here, be brutally honest. You're doing this for yourself, right? No one will know. We're going to aggregate all the scores anyway to see how people are as of now. But it's important that, because sometimes we delude ourselves. So we say, oh, I'm really healthy. But actually, in terms of our eating habits and our sleeping habits, it's not that, we know it could be improved. So the last aspect, and I would also say equally important, obviously, are relationships. And there are different levels of relationships, when it comes to love and friendship. The most immediate level, and the one closest to you, are your relationships with people that you go to for love, right? So this could be your parents, your spouse, your best friend, your boyfriend, your kids. Then the outer layer would be your friends, your network of friends, your family, probably your bigger family, your associates, your close associates at work. And then even the widest level would be your community, right? So it could be your neighborhood, or you're part of a group or a club. So these are the people that you interact with where you feel really some level of connection. So here we're going to answer as a whole, okay? So how would you look at your relationships? Take stock of your relationships. How much time and effort do you spend on this? Okay? And then the other aspect is, do your relationships in general leave you empty or fulfilled? Okay. So again, looking at it in terms of a scale, it's not just a yes or no. All right, so let's all answer it together, okay? So we want you, and I think someone will put it on the chat, right? Otherwise, you can also just use your device, whether it's a mobile phone or your tablet. Use this QR code and answer. Okay, go through the 4 aspects. Put your answers, and I'm going to switch to our Mentimeter so we can see everyone's answers as they input it.
Yes. So just, if you want, you can just also look at the code that's being flashed on the screen. Go to menti.com and then use that code and answer.
Yeah. or you can just click on the link on the chat. So you see now people
Yes.
answering, right? And you can see here some movements. The big dot, that's the average score, as you can see. And then the smaller dots, as you can see here, like pockets of joy, the smaller dots are your individual answers. And so far, we have 11 answers. We have 160 participants here today.
Yeah.
So I expect, hopefully, if we can reach
doing
more than
great.
100, that would be more than, that would be awesome. Again, no one knows who your answers. Even I don't know, Cindy, we don't know.
Yeah, we
All
don't.
of these are aggregated, but you can see here, it's quite interesting in terms of, the overall range of scores, because it's not just the average that we're looking at. We're looking at the individual score. So in terms of health, you can see there it's a wide range from like really good on the upper right quadrant. For those who are really lacking in terms of health, you can see it in the lower quadrant, lower left quadrant. And there are some on the lower right or middle right, and then there are some on the upper right. If we look at relationships, we also see quite a similar one, right? Quite a similar range as well. Okay? And then if you look at, at work, so I think we have a huge number of answers already. It's around 60 or more. It's growing. So we can't show the individual answers anymore. But you can see, I don't know if you can see it, Cindy, but it's sort of still moving and shifting.
Yeah, it's
right?
still moving. And I also want to tell everyone that they can use their laptops as well, as long as they go to menti.com, right? And if they don't have a phone, so they can still put
you
in
can just
their
open
inputs.
another browser.
Yeah, they can open another browser. Indeed, yeah.
So it's really good to see, because we said, right, in many cases, some people, they just focus on work, when they give advice. Some people, they just focus on love and relationships. Some people just focus on the fun part. Some people just focus on, let's say, the health part. But for us, for LifeCraft, it's important that we have all of this. And depending on the stage of our life, right? Some people might say, at this point, I'm really happy with everything, but it's my health that I really need to work on. So moving forward, that's probably something that you can start to do. And we will give you some tips later on. Actually, if you attend our full-blown LifeCraft course, unfortunately, we only have an hour. But if you attend our full-blown course, then we give you tips on how you can improve each of these ones. But we're not saying that there's one standard perfect life for everyone that we should impose on everyone. Actually, one of the great things about what we do and about LifeCraft is when you lead an authentic life, you create a life that's really just for you. So for some people who feel that they're great in terms of their relationships, their fun, their health, but probably work is something that's sort of affecting them. Probably, it's leaving them sometimes tired or leaving them stressed. So perhaps that's something that you can work on. Right, Cindy?
Yeah.
In fact, you were going to say something.
Yeah, I really am just so excited seeing now that it's so important to respond to this, because it's like a mirror, right? And knowing that you are not alone, as we can see, the highs are in our relationships, very much valued, right? But the health is really there, right there, and is needing some assistance. And what you were sharing earlier, Jose, was so important. And that is that our measure of success is dependent on us. So we present these four aspects of life to you, because to you, maybe to someone like me, for instance, I'm learning that really it's my health. All of us yata, mukhang health, tama ba? It is our health.
It seems to be the one.
That's number one.
Where, actually, it seems to be the best one. If you look at the average here, because it's the one that seems to be the most fulfilled. At the same time, they're spending a lot of time on their health. On average, right? You can see. Sorry, health is number 2. So it's actually the worst. Sorry.
The worst, actually.
The one is in terms of relationships.
Yes.
And then it's followed by pockets of joy, and then work.
Work, right. Kaya nga parang for me, what I wanted to add there, Jose, was love what you said about how our measure of success depends on us. So we adjust our lives, right? Depending on how we want to curate it, no? These four aspects. So flexible siya. last time in the session of Cliff, some people were talking about being stuck, right, and not knowing what to do. Some are not stuck and are, doing well and thriving in this world we're living in right now. So this is a good mirror. Look at it and then make the adjustments. Take your time, no, Jose?
Yeah.
Diba?
Right.
Yeah.
And you're right. Again, there's no perfect life. Even though you might be
Yeah.
like someone whom we idolize and say, we always think that, and that's the great thing about being a human, is that there's always room for improvement. And
Yes.
not to say that we're not happy, but we can always do things better, faster, explore stuff that we haven't uncovered and learn new things. And for me, that's one of the great things about leading a truly authentic life.
Indeed.
So I think we have around 74 responses. I'm going to switch back now to our presentation. So at least that gives us an insight. Seems to be work and health are really the most challenging areas. So we want you to just reflect on your answers, on your own answers, and share your insights. If you're willing to do it, you can share it on the chat, or if you're brave enough, you can raise your hand and share it. We can unmute you, and we want you to reflect in terms of these three basic questions. Okay, how do you feel about your life now? Are you happy? Is there something, as what Cindy said, there's nothing wrong with my life, but I just know that I can improve certain areas? Or do you feel that you're really feeling low, or feeling very challenged, and you say, 2022, pwede ba kita ibalik? Return to sender.
Sender.
That's what Gabby mentioned earlier. Like first 2 weeks pala, ang dami na nangyari, no?
Intense.
Probably reflecting on the past 2 years also. For some people, they carry that with them.
Yeah.
The second question, which areas do you wish to focus more on? Is it health? Is it your relationships? Or it could be one relationship. Sabi nga nila, it's 80-20, right? 80% of the effects is caused by 20% of the causes. If you talk about 80% of your happiness when it comes to relationships, can be boiled down to 20% of the people in your life. Maybe even just one person in your life. So if you actually work your relationship with that person, whether that's a parent, whether that's a loved one, your partner, maybe just by working on that, you can actually have a big improvement in terms of your overall fulfillment and happiness for that particular aspect.
Exactly.
And the third question is, how do you feel about working on improving these areas? Does it excite you? Does it scare you? Again, it's very easy to say, I want to improve my health. But when it comes to actually jumping into it, right? First of all, the challenge of just accepting, I really have to improve something, with my health or with my work. And then the next challenge is deciding, okay, I'm going to work on it. Or maybe you'll just tolerate it. That's the other aspect too. I attended a view of Filipinos, Gen Z and Gen Y yesterday. And one of the key values of Filipinos that they are still prevalent up to today is yung matiisin tayo. We're very patient. At the same time, we're optimistic. But there's good aspects to that, but there are also some aspects which can be improved, which is sobrang matiisin naman, diba? And we're willing to tolerate a lot of, I would say, negative stuff or stuff that we don't need, that don't add value to our life. So the third challenge now is, okay, how do you actually do it, right?
Right.
So yun yung mga challenges natin. And hopefully we won't be able to give you all the answers now, obviously, because we just have an hour. But the important thing is for you to start thinking about it and for you to start doing something about it now. Sabi ni Cindy, yung mga gimmick niya kanina, the boom, just doing something different, just standing up or just going outside, perhaps after this, to, hopefully fully masked and whatever, but going to your garden or going somewhere, a room which really inspires you, or a space that inspires you, and just giving yourself 5 minutes to just think about nothing, right? And expect nothing, and just being thankful for where you are. So reflect on that. I'm not sure if there are some people who wrote in the chat, Cindy.
Actually, I am just
Meron ba?
looking at it right now, and no one has shared yet. But I think it's because they're digesting it. They're digesting what you've been sharing. Because I think just looking at that earlier was very clear that, hey, I need to improve on this. And maybe if you feel sins, I'm really tired. I don't have the energy for it. um, that's something to work on. That's something to look at, isn't it? So as they're reflecting on it, I'm going to be going now into what we call our lifescape. Is that okay, or do we give them
Wow.
some time to
Of
to
course, I think
to no to ruminate some more?
I think we can go ahead, no?
We
I
can
think
go
we can
ahead.
go ahead.
All right. So I'm
So
going
we
to.
also have time later for questions and answers in case there
Yes.
are
Yeah.
some comments also, and maybe some people are willing to share their own experience when it comes to looking at living an authentic life, a life that's truly theirs.
Indeed. And, Jose, coming off from that, the four aspects of life, it is so critical that we design our own landscape for our lives. That's why we call it lifescape. It is seeing your life's landscape, which helps you. So I just want to say that when this particular part of the course was created, Jose and I were talking about the future. Futures thinking tool ang ginamit namin. Para makafocus po tayo in terms of looking into the future, but also considering where we are at the present. Okay, so are you ready? Yeah. If you're ready, can you put a number 2 on the chat box? I just want to know if you're still there. Yeah. Okay, put a number 2 on the chat box if you are ready. There we go. Ready to jump into our lifescape. Okay, so seeing your life's landscape helps you to also see where you are today so you can craft a future for yourself. All right. So I want you now to take out your pens, your coloring. Sorry. Oh, they can't hear me. Someone is saying, Aurea can't hear me. How's
I can hear
everyone's?
you, Sins.
You
I
can
can
hear
hear
me.
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Aurea, maybe it's your connection. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Don't worry. There's a YouTube live stream going on, so you can catch that after. Okay. So, I'm going to hop on, okay, to go into this particular lifescape. Are you ready? Okay, I see the twos. Let's go. Let's jump in. Okay, so let us begin your journey inward. Could everybody just take a breath right now? So I'd like you to just close your eyes and just inhale deeply from your belly. Just close your eyes, inhale through your nose, and exhale through your mouth with a sigh. Okay, I want you to do 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Okay, one last inhale and exhale. Okay, so just take a breath if you haven't. Okay, we're going to map out the landscape of your life and what we call lifescape. There are 4 areas. There's the jungle that we're going to go into, the chessboard, the mountain, and last but definitely not the least, the star, your North Star. So the jungle. So if you have some paper in front of you, okay, I want you to be true to yourself here, okay? So I want you to be writing down, okay? What is the present state of your life? Kumbaga, the state of affairs today, okay? This is your present, including the challenges, the obstacles, the limiting beliefs that you're thinking about yourself, you know? Be true to yourself here. What are you dealing with today? That's why we called it a jungle, because in a jungle, it can be full of a lot of things. And sometimes all you can see is the next step, isn't it? Or it could be crowded, or this is like life today. So what are some of these challenges? Just taking off from the 4 aspects of life. You already saw what was a challenge there, isn't it? So what is it in particular? Okay. Another thing is there an obstacle in your way right now? For instance, sometimes the obstacle is we are not able to believe that there's a way out, and you are not alone here. Okay. I've been stuck there where I've got days where it's like the same over and over. It's like a loop, and I just want to escape from this life. Anyone can relate? Yeah. Please put a number 3 there. Yeah. Yeah. And John was saying uncertainty, COVID impact on travel and movement. Indeed, it is a jungle. Totoo. Okay. Now, what are some of the limiting beliefs that come up for you in this jungle? Okay. What are limiting beliefs? For example, you can say, I'm not enough, or, I want to apply for that job. I want to shift my work, but I'm not ready. Or maybe it could be, um, uh, I'm not qualified. Or it could even be, I lost a loved one, and I can't see a way through. And I want you to accept that reality. Okay. Just write it down, because I can't see a way through. It is difficult right now. Sit with the present. Okay. The present state. Write it down. I want you to go in a stream of consciousness writing. Okay. Just write down everything that is challenging. Okay. And there's no judgment here as well. If you want to share some on the chat box, you can. Okay. Thank you, Editha. Love the bravery. She says, I'm confused of so many things. Okay. John is saying we cannot excel during a pandemic. Yeah, that's one of those beliefs, right? But I know, John, that this is something you've overcome, right? So, but we're just talking about what those are, okay? Right now, in this moment, type it up or write it down. Okay. Still good? I'm going to give you a minute to write down what is happening in your present. And maybe you can look at it in the context of the 4 areas, right? Your relationships, your pockets of joy, your health, and of course, your work. Okay. All good? Okay. Hi, Jose.
Ay, yeah.
Just
We're
giving them a
giving
bit of
them.
time.
Pwede din to mga hugot, di ba?
Exactly.
Yung mga pinagdadaanan mo ngayon. Diba?
Yeah.
Tulad
Marami
natin.
eh.
And there's power in actually writing it
Writing
down.
it down.
Because later
Yeah.
on, may reveal yan pag nakita mo na sila
Lahat.
lahat
Yeah.
on a single page of paper. May release
Right.
din yan. May reveal, may release.
Exactly. So, siguro maganda kung i-divide nila yung paper nila into 4, no? Para parang 4 charts if they want. Pero it's up to you, kasi I want you to feel free to just express yourselves, right? You can even draw. If you cannot express it in words and you'd rather draw it, hindi etong nararamdaman namin, etong mga obstacle na nasa ulo ko, ito yung nafe-feel ko, do it. Do it right now. Okay? Okay ba? Can I trust that I can go to the next one? Is that okay? If you want me to go to the next one, put a 3, please, on the chat box if you're good. Okay. So the jungle is the present. Okay. This life that we are in, the one that we are navigating right now, the daily grind. Okay. 3. Okay. I've got some 3s. Yes. Okay. Clear? Okay. You've had some time to write that. I don't want you to think too much about it. I always tell Jose, right? First thought is God thought. That's your higher self. You're connecting with the self that's telling you the truth, right? About what's going on, whether it's in your heart or it's in your belly. Yeah. And we are all in this together. Like I always say, we are each other's medicine. And we're going to jump into that later about what are the bigger things that you are going to look at in your life. Okay. So I've got the go signal. Let's go to the next area of our lifescape. So we've seen the jungle. Let's jump into our chessboard. So the chessboard is your immediate future. It includes your plans. In terms of work, it's your key performance indicators. You've got some sales targets, right? Some of you in the room. Or maybe you've got some business targets. Or personally as well, you want to be able to earn this much this year. Or some of us, because of what's happened, we've taken care of family members, friends, colleagues. Totoo, diba? Bayanihan is there throughout the season. So you've taken on also, things have actually changed, right? And did you notice that the past 2 years, we had to adjust so many times and adapt? And gaya nga ng sabi ni Jose kanina, tayo mga Filipino, napaka-adaptable natin at matiisin. Pero meron din yung, I think, maximum limit, hindi ba? So we shouldn't take that for granted, okay? This also includes your projects in the next 1 to 2 years, okay? So I'd like you to write down, what are these goals, okay? just look at the 1 to 2 years. I'm not asking you to go beyond that right now. Okay, just focus on the chessboard. And why a chessboard? Because you have to be strategic in your movement in the next 2 years, isn't it? Right? It's like, okay, I'll move this and maybe I'll do this. But if you haven't done it, and remember, championing your life goals ang theme natin, write it down. Okay. And once you've written it down, a good cue for you is, when I write this down, do I feel light or do I feel heavy? Okay. And when I ask you, oh, this goal feels light, this goal feels heavy. For example, the goal is, I want to feel healthier every single day. And my goal is every day to spend 20 minutes eating healthy food in the morning, taking my time, and just doing some mindful eating. I'm not even asking myself to do all 3 meals. I'll do some mindful eating, let's say for 20 minutes every day. Does that feel light or heavy? Okay. How about a goal of, I want to reach this particular target monetarily, okay, at the end of the year. Okay. Why am I asking if it feels light or if it feels heavy? Because when it feels heavy, it means there's something blocking it, right? Meaning either it's not really a goal that you want, it's maybe something that someone else wants for you, or there's something there that isn't sitting well, aligning with how you see yourself. And this will make sense later when you see the two other aspects of your lifescape, okay? Also, what are the obstacles in your way? I remember in the last session as well, someone mentioned that, paano if I really need to work? I want to pursue my passion, but I have this job that I need to put food on the table, okay? But I so want to pursue this passion already. It doesn't have to be na if you take this on, wala na yung isa, okay? So, is it a thought also that's blocking you? Is it time that's an obstacle? Is it resources? Write it down, okay? And what is holding you back? So by simply writing, you are actually creating a connection from the brain onto paper and saying, I want to make this happen in the next 1 to 2 years. Regardless of what's going on around me right now, I don't want you to think of what's going around because we did that already with the jungle, right? Okay. I want you to start thinking of the next 1 to 2 years. Okay. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So are you good? Have you written some down? If you have, can I see a 4 on the chat box, please? If you've already written stuff down. Yeah. There we go. Okay, yes, 4. Love it. If you want to give some comments as well on what's going on, that's fine. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm going to hop on to the next. We've got our jungle. We've got our chessboard. Let's go to the next one. The mountain. The mountain is the medium-term future. So this includes your goals, your aspirations, some long-term plans in the next 5 to 10 years. So I'm going to ask you to, your gaze now is going to increase. Okay. So if earlier you're seeing, okay, this is the jungle, this is what's in front of me. Okay, let's hop on a bit. Let's go into the chessboard. Yeah, I can still see that. And now I'm going to challenge you. That's why it's a mountain. Kasi ang mountain, meron siyang height, diba? May altitude. So medyo it's up there. And when Jose and I were talking about this, now this includes your goals, aspirations, long-term plans for 5 to 10 years. Naalala ko, he was telling me, since remember, before your mountain was to have a child. And in particular, I asked for a daughter. And now she's 14 years old, you know, and I am just so grateful to have this relationship with my daughter and to have her in my life. Before, I was planning, I said, I'm going to get married at 30. I'm going to have a child after 3 years. All of that happened. In fact, I got married at 29 and then I turned 30 that year. Yeah. So when I put 2 and 2 together, oh, I've had those mountains in the past. Now, let me look now and I want to project. So it's 2022 people plus 5, 2027. What's happening to you then? Imagine yourselves. How does it feel? What mountain do you want to climb? It could be literally a mountain you want to climb. What adventure or long-term plan do you want to pursue? A lot of people, they talk about building homes, right? In the 5 to 10 years. Some also talk about a career change. I'm going to give this an aspect. Some of you might be retiring in 5 to 10 years. OMG, how exciting. What's going to happen? Okay. What do you want to do in those 5 to 10 years? And then after writing these down, and I want you to just write 3 or 4. If there's a lot, go ahead. If there's just one, sure. If there's none right now, this is going to be homework for you. Okay. But are these goals doable? Do they scare you or excite you or both? Sometimes we feel scared, right, Jose? There's that fear that comes up when you think of this goal. Like me, I have one, which is to move to another country. I love my Philippines, but meron
Don't
akong
leave
parang,
us. Don't leave us. Sis.
hindi ko alas. Gusto ko lang kahit sandali. Parang mag-ano ako, ano yun, under the Tuscan sun.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
So mga season lang naman sa Tuscany, meron ako niyan. Matagal na dapat, pero gusto ko siyang, tinitingnan ko kung yun pa rin ang gusto ko, no? And na-excite ako, pero natatakot din ako kasi I have to prepare for it, isn't it? And preparation is really key. But it's so wonderful to actually have something to look forward to, right? And you're allowed to do that right now. It's free, people. Okay, I want to assure you, libre lang siya. We don't need to, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin ngayon, Cindy, mukhang hindi to mangyayari. Kaya may tanong do they scare you, excite you, or both? You know what? Some of us feel it's scary, but I'm telling you, right? They say that actually the fear is actually sometimes it's excitement, right? Because you don't know what to expect, but it's something that you can look forward to. Another thing I want you to look at is, why am I fearful about this? And if I try to just try talking to people who've done this already, or step out into that, right? And start thinking, hey, how many other people, like I go to YouTube and I look at people who've done what I want to do. They're already living in another country and they're staying there for quite a while. How did they adapt? What are they doing? And then I get excited and I really look at interviews. In short, it's one of those things I do on the side that excite me. But at one point, they say, diba, na, courage comes from the fact that even if you fear something, you just do it, you try it out. And you can just put one foot inside that right now. I want you to imagine those mountains, right? Or maybe it's a relationship you want to work on, right? Maybe it's your father, your mother, your child, your spouse, a friend, someone very important in your life that you want to build in a couple of years, your marriage, right? In 5 years, I want us to get to this place. I want to do the work now. That's
You want to find the one.
Yan,
Right, Sids? Yeah.
Right. The 1 or the 2 or the 3 or the 4. Kasi minsan, hala mo, the
Hopefully
1 na, di ba? Hindi, minsan may the 1.
Let's keep to the one. Let's keep
to the 1. Hindi, ibig ko sabihin, hindi nila dadagdan. Hindi nag-work akala nilang the 1. May 2 naman, may 3 for sure. Right? Kung walang 2, nasa sa inyo yon. Okay.
I knew one. Sige.
Okay. Ako mukhang ibang usapan nito, mga kapatid.
Iba na.
Oo, iba na.
Ibang
Okay.
course na yun.
Ibang course na yun. Pero, ilagay nyo yan if that resonates with you. Kasi mahalaga sa inyo yun. It's about what's important to you, what makes you happy. To me, my relationships are precious. And I think to all of you, because number 1 siya. Kasi, dun sa analysis natin earlier sa mentee. Okay. So, ready to move on? I want to see some 5s if you want me to go to the next one, which is the star. Okay. All right. I want to see some 5s on the chat. Yeah, just to get some feedback. Okay. Still digesting this, but you can always do this tonight. Okay. Or tomorrow, even the weekend. Okay. So, as we go deeper in, so as you can see, we're expanding, right? And do you feel that? Take another breath. Deep inhale. And then exhale. Good. Okay. Let's go to the last one. So far in this particular lifescape, we have the star. This is your vision. This star extends to the end of your life and beyond. And this is your aspirational self and your legacy. The question you want to answer here is, how do you want to be remembered? What contribution do you wish to make to the world? And is this clear to you? Now, I remember we have a course, Limitless, no, Jose? And when we conducted that course, one of the participants recently said, Cindy, private message niya ako. No? He's one of my mentees from before. And he said, Cindy, paano to? Kung ang gusto ko lang is to retire and live a peaceful life. Abay, walang masama doon. Anong legacy iwan ko noon since? A peaceful life, a life of being. Why? And this is something that I believe, no, that we are underestimating. Okay. People always ask, what is your purpose in life? Okay. The number one purpose we have or contract we have with this planet, and it's up to you how you see it, right? But I'll share with you mine and what I'm seeing. And that is to be ourselves fully, to be who I am fully. And in that, in being joyful within me, the people around me will benefit from that. Don't you think so? I mean, come on. If you've had a bad evening, you lack sleep, you wake up the next morning and you're grouchy, do you carry that grouchiness around? Or do you check in and say, oh wow, kulong ako sa tulog today. And everyone at home is not, and there's some who are not well, some are well, right? Especially now with this variant. How am I going to show up today? And you check in with yourself and say, I'm not feeling so good, but I want to choose, I want to intend that today, regardless of how I'm feeling, I'm going to move through my day with peace in my heart. So what's going to give you peace? Maybe you can set some time to drink a nice cup of tea or coffee. And this is what I do in the morning before I talk to anybody. I try to have a hot drink and just connect with myself, say a prayer, or meditate, or move around, play some Justin Bieber and dance, right? And then get into the zone. And when I'm shaking off and I'm feeling better, I hold an intention in my heart and I say, what is my North Star? My North Star is peace. So I will be peace to all. And it doesn't happen every day, right? So this one is, and we can go deeper when you take the course because we have a whole, right, Jose? We have a whole discussion of purpose and meaning, and this, we go deeper in the full-on training course. So if you can't answer these questions yet, that's fine. But if you have already answers, you can put them on the chat box and share them with us. We'd love to hear from you. Okay. So as you can see, this is your lifescape. If we add all of them together, this is what's going to form the landscape of your lives. And this can change and vary and can be adjusted as the years progress. If you have any questions, you can ask them later. But let us reflect on our answers and share your insights if you wish. Is there an alignment between the different areas of your lifescape, from your jungle, your chessboard, your mountain, or star? May theme ba? Is there a running theme? Are the four aspects of your life reflected in your jungle and chessboard? And are they aligned to your mountains and to your star? And if they're not aligned, that's okay too. It's just looking at that path. And lastly, do you now have a clear idea of the kind of life you want to build for the future? And what can you do in the present? Because that is critical, right? The future begins when? Today. I want you to type that up in the chat box. Today, now. Okay, you can say today or you can say now. The future begins now, right? Type it up. Yes, today. Make that your intention. It is up to you. You have the power. And this is what LifeCraft has taught Jose and I. This is not an easy thing to do, to practice, right? Because life's just throwing us this and that, left and right. From losses to disappointments to the many areas, and losing those pockets of joy. And yet, here we are together in this sacred space, holding each other up, right? So I want you to reflect, take some time. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen right now. I'm going to turn you over to Jose this time as we move this forward. Yeah?
Thanks a lot, Sins, and
Yeah.
really such powerful words. And thank you for telling us that we can do it now, and we can live a life of purpose,
Yes.
starting today. And I love what you said about alignment. Are the things that we are so busy with in our jungle today? Does it actually bring us closer to the star?
Yeah.
Or is the chessboard, di ba? That's the next 1 to 2 years.
Tama.
Aligned ba siya with our mountains? Right?
Yes.
The things that we're so busy at work, what we plan to do the next 1 to 2 years, will it actually bring us closer, or is it a manifestation of our star? So, walang makakasagot niyan kundi kayo, no? And again, this exercise, you don't have to share that to anyone. It's something that can be a secret to yourself, right? But I hope that Cindy was able to challenge you to really have a hard look, not only at your present, but also looking into your future. Because as what Cindy, related to what Cindy said, if you don't make plans, other people will make plans for you. And the best one is really lead. And if you don't have that, if you're that type of person who doesn't really like making plans, or things are so uncertain now, it's hard to make plans, then that's all right too. Let's accept
Yes.
that. But what's important is living a life of purpose. And this simple phrase has actually kept me going the past 2 years of this pandemic. Last year was one of my most difficult years mentally. Cindy knows this, John knows this. My best friend passed away. A couple of other relatives passed away. It was really one of my lowest mentally. And again, the start of this year, right? I saw my dad passed away two weeks ago, and I still haven't fully processed that and accepted that. And what has really kept me going is, what is my purpose? Uh, who am I living for? Who am I waking up for? And what do I really believe in the most? And that has kept me going, really. So people who lead a life of purpose actually find strengths, right? Whether it's your family or your principles or paniniwala or a certain goal or a vision that you have for yourself. Probably this is a good time, and this is a calling. That's why you're here right now, to be able to probably revisit that purpose, or perhaps find a purpose, or discover a new one. So thanks for that. Now we'll talk about now, right? What can we start to do now? So here are some practical tips. Moving on, and we're almost at the end of our I would say talk this afternoon. List down 3 things that you can do today, right? Get that piece of paper that you've been writing on. Write down 3 things that you can do today to live a life of purpose. And that's what Cindy said, live a life that is limitless. Because in most cases, the limitations that we set, it's just ourselves. And it doesn't have to be a grand thing, no, that I will build a house today or I'll do this big party today. No, can be one very small, simple thing that's very achievable that you can do, but can make a big difference in your life moving forward. So if it's saying sorry to a friend, send that text now, or probably send a text to say, can we talk later? Or
Yeah.
if it's about your health, doing something that will make you feel that you're doing something healthy, whether it's eating a snack or not eating a snack, or having that, that healthy beverage, or just giving yourself some time to breathe and relax. If it's something related to work, it could be something do something that's you've been putting off, right? And you don't have to do the whole assignment, but probably just start one. If it's a paragraph that you need to write the first sentence. Or if it's a big project, perhaps schedule a meeting today to talk to, let's say, the important people. So we'll give you a bit of time. Okay?
Yes.
Write that down. The 3 things that you can do today, and then just do it. So if you can do it now while we're doing this, sanay naman tayo sa multitasking, right? Gawin nyo na. Or
As
even though you're
in.
busy, right? Take a break a little while after this, or during
Yeah.
the Q&A portion, gawin nyo na.
In
Gawin
fact,
nyo
was it one of the things that I've been doing lately is to set an alarm every hour to remind myself to be thankful within, to just practice gratitude. And this is something I'm doing this whole week. And all you need to do is set the alarm.
Yeah, you
If
can
I
set
can't-
the alarm now, di ba?
Alarm now,
For
yeah.
some of you, di ba?
Yeah.
It can be by hour, or it can be by
It
tonight.
could be by tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
night before you sleep. So
simple lang hindi to complicated kasi we need to act no. So the key is, why did we present all of these to you? Because these are all beautiful things that we're talking about. But if you will not take action, I always say intention plus action equals manifestation. If you don't act on it, how will you see it happen? Right? So just one step forward. I'm not asking you, just the flashlight in front, 1 foot forward. Do it right now. Okay? Do something. And if you're willing, write that in the chat box too. Otherwise, as long as you know it, that's good.
Great sense. The next one that you can start to do, if you don't have it yet, but it's very important to form this small, trusted group of people, whether it's your family or it's your close friends, or it can be even some really good friends in at work that you can form to be part of your crew. We call it the LifeCraft crew. Those people who attend our full-blown course, actually, the people in the course, they're very much like-minded people who want to challenge themselves, take their lives to the next level. So you can form that crew, and their role is to help generate ideas and how you can start making changes. At the same time, they can also be your cheerleader and conscience and mother confessor, or that shoulder to cry on when things get difficult. And for me, it's all right for things to be difficult because it means you're actually challenging yourself. It means that you're becoming more than who you are. It doesn't have to be difficult all the time, right? But in those times of difficulty are actually those times that we really discover who we are, and and what we are made of. So if you don't have it yet, form your crew. Again, set up a Zoom call or perhaps do a Viber call or whatever call. It's very easy to communicate now. If you can, you can meet them in person if they're living in the same house, but again, safely with social distancing. But it's important to build that crew. Cindy is part of my crew, actually. And she knows, she's really my support person. And doesn't have to be a lot, but just a few people that you trust.
Yes.
All right. The next one is join our LifeCraft community. So go to this community platform. All right. So this one, it's an exclusive site. You have to put in a few details for you to log in. You can do it now. You can just scan the QR code, or I think somebody shared on the chat the link that you can register. Don't worry, we won't sell you anything. Except for probably now, if you want to attend our course. But again, but we have a lot of resources there in terms of what you can do to inspire yourselves. And even within the community, for example, there was one, she wanted to do the El Camino. It's this huge walk somewhere in Spain and France. It's a pilgrimage. And so we had one LifeCrafter said she wanted to do that. And we also had one LifeCrafter who already did it, and they actually exchanged advice and tips in terms of how to do it. So we have this community that actually will help you achieve your goals.
Right. And there's so much information there too that we share. Like if you take this session and you wanna look at all of the tips and hacks that we have there, you can look at those as well, just to support you on your journey. Okay. Thanks. So join us there.
Yeah. And you can also join us in our Instagram and our LifeCraft social media sites, as well as you can also listen to our podcasts. So we have the LifeCraft podcast. It's available on Apple podcasts. I think somebody will also share in the chat Spotify podcasts. If you want to learn more about LifeCraft, the different tools that we use coming from design thinking and futures thinking, we've also talked to a lot of very interesting people like you and me, talking about how they lead authentic lives, their own lives, their own lives, their own experiences. You can also listen to that.
Yeah. In fact, season 1, Jose and I dig deeper into the different aspects of LifeCraft, our own personal experiences, and some resources that we use. So it would be nice if you could listen to that. I think that will help support what you learned today. And then season 2 was we were talking to people nga living lives that they designed, you know.
Yeah.
Ang ganda ng mga storya nila. We have our own life crafters, and also some of like one of my coaches, Nadine Lustre, she also shared, we had a special session with her as well, and she's also been through a lot, and I know some of you know her, right? So something you can also listen to. And the life crafters as well, their experience after taking LifeCraft, I am telling you, it changed their lives when they acted on what they learned. And we want that for everyone. That's why I was saying I put this passion project together. LifeCraft was born from the pandemic. Inumpisa
Exactly.
namin to nung 2020 at nandito siya at kasama namin kayong lahat ngayon. Eh, yun ang mga isa sa mga pockets of joy ng 2020.
Yeah. And speaking of the course, right? So if you attend the LifeCraft course, that's also another action plan. It really blows up. For example, thinking about your purpose, looking at how can you actually lead an authentic life. And we go through very practical, very easy, not heavy at all, very easy practical ways that you can actually lead an authentic life. If you register by January 26, it's already open now. Again, you can scan the QR code. You can, everyone who's listening now, okay, whether it's whether here on Zoom or whether on live stream, you get a 30% discount. Okay, which is already huge, which is only exclusive to those people who are listening to this. And the deadline is January 26th, so it's already open now. It's a 3-session, 3 hours. So normally we do that on a weekend. So really it's your time for yourself. It's probably, it's the new year now, and thinking about how you will chart your course for this year or even beyond the pandemic. And as what Cindy mentioned, and one of the great things about this passion project is we really touch lives. It's coming from our own experience. Cindy as a coach, me as a futurist, part of being a futurist is you think of the future, but you think of it in a systematic way. And we teach you to do that in your own personal lives.
And
so
you
can
take
be your
ownership.
own. Yeah, you can be your own personal futurist. You take ownership really of your life and say, this is the life that we want. And and actually, one of the things, just a trivia, companies actually don't want to get us because what happens when they get us is they leave. The people who attend, they leave their jobs. But actually, what they also didn't talk about are those people who actually became so much better at their jobs. They got promoted, they got recognition because they started now to identify, oh wow, this is how I can be my 100% me at work. So
and Jose, nagpakatotoo sila. That's what authenticity is eh. They nagpakatotoo sila sa sarili nila. They took action and said, okay, I'm going to talk to my boss about how I feel, or I'm going to talk to HR about how I am with my work. And if we don't get there, I already designed a life scenario that I want for myself. And I'm going to try it out now. I'm going to give life's too short. I'm going to give myself a shot. And you deserve that shot today. That's what I want to tell everyone. I'm not kidding how many times the word pivot has been used, right, for the past years. But really, that's simple. It's like a ship, right? If it moves and the rudder adjusts just a little, okay? At the beginning, you feel, konti lang yung adjustment. Pero pag humaba na siya, nakita nyo, ang layo na, ang lawak na ng narating mo by simply taking that step. And if you take this step, I don't want to oversell it, but I just want to tell you, it's so worth it. Kasi, regalo sa sarili, regalo sa kapatid, sa kaibigan. We've had people take this given it as a gift. Like a friend of ours gave it as a gift to her 3 managers. And they did leave the company, 2 of them. But she was happy because they got to figure out what they wanted. Some naman, they improved on their relationships, which helped them improve sa jobs nila at sa happiness index nila within. Yun.
So, final words. Again, live a limitless life. That's what we want for you. We want you to lead a truly authentic life. So what are those things, as what Cindy mentioned, what are those fractional improvements that you can start to do today? Spend time and effort living a full life. Think about your work, relationships, health, and pockets of joy. Look at where you want to improve. Start now. What are those three things that you can start today? Live a life of purpose and everything else will follow. Revisit your purpose, perhaps tonight, perhaps this weekend. You can take a look. What are you really there for? What's the legacy that you want to leave to this world? And third of all, align the different aspects of your lifescape from today to your future. Are they aligned? And look at how you can really live a life of purpose. So to end it, although I hope we see each other again, this is one of our favorite quotes again. We must be willing to give up the life we have planned so as to have the life that is waiting for us. And the world is out there. Our life is out there. And thank you very much for joining us. And thank you to Positive Workplaces for allowing us this time to be able to share this passion project of ours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been an honor.
All right. So I think Alma, you're muted, Alma, and Gabby.
Hi.
Yeah.
Yes,
I think we have
you.
some time, no, for some Q&A for those people who have some questions.
Thanks so much, Coach Cindy and Prof. D. Of
Prof.
course, it
D.
doesn't end here, no? Of course, we're gonna open the room now for question and answer. So, yung mga may tanong po, you can just send it po in the chat box and Gabby and I will do our best to make sure na masagot yung mga questions. So, please don't hesitate, send your questions po.
Yes, we're ready.
Yeah. You can also send us a private message if you don't want to be identified. Or you can send it directly to Coach Karen or to Prof. D.
Yeah. Someone's already messaged me about supporting us in our movement, Jose. She's calling it a movement. So I told her to email me. I sent her my email. Yeah. Thank you.
Kailangan natin yan, especially
We need
now,
it.
di ba? As Filipinos, we need it. We need our lives back. Daming nangyayari, ang daming hanash. so
Totoo yan.
we need time again. And I think that is the thing that will really create a better future for the Philippines. As what in a way we're very much aligned with Positive Workplaces. It starts with ourselves.
Yeah,
and if we work on ourselves, if we lead truly authentic lives, then everything else will follow.
Yes, Pauline actually shared in the chat box, your session today validates my module topics for my workplace over the next 2 weeks. Wonderful. She says, thank you. You're welcome, Pauline. Thanks so much for giving us that feedback. That's very powerful to hear. Yeah, and thank you to everyone sending love on the chat box. Mahal din namin. Sabi ni Pauline, thank you for sharing. Nabuhayan ako. Ay, kami rin.
Oh, nabuhayan
you
din
make
kami.
us, you give that back to the energy that you give, no? Ang gusto ko lang sabihin, since wala pang tanong, ang assignment na gusto ko idagdag, okay lang ba? May assignment, hindi ko makatiis, coach. Ang aking coach na gawa kayo ng prescription, pero hindi yung biogesic, kasi meron na tayo yan, di ba? Yung mga listahan ng gamot. Ang gusto kong gawin nyo, make a prescription that's your own for your health, yourself, your health, your relationships, your work, your pockets of joy, your bliss, your pockets of joy and bliss. Anong prescription na kailangan mo every day para matuloy na mabuhay ka, na ma-feel nyo yung, teka, buhay pa ako, andito pa ako. Okay? Andito pa yung mga mahal ko sa buhay. At kahit nawalan tayo ng mga mahal sa buhay, wow, grabe tong 2 years na to. I lost key people as well in my life, just like all of you, and our very dearest best friend whom we lost, Jose, right? And she inspired us. She, by her passing, gave us inspiration to continue doing this. She's part of our life crew. And she was the first person we shared this to, you know? So we're still standing here today and we're still here. What's your prescription for yourself? So for example, 10% sunlight, you know, another 10%, yummy, healthy food. Another 10%, lots of love and cuddles. Kung allowed ka na mag-hug, right? Another one is my books that I want to read, or I want time with my K-drama or movies. Pero curated yon for you na prescription mo. Or do some dancing, you know, every day. Dance like no one is watching for 10 minutes. Pwede rin for people watching. Or magte-TikTok ako. And magki-create ako ng account kasi gusto ko lang.
Since
Gawa
I
kayo
have a
ng...
question.
O sige,
Since
ano
I
yung
have a
tanong mo?
question.
Sige, go.
This is actually from someone
Okay, go
in our
ahead.
audience. She
All
messaged
right.
me directly.
Okay.
Sabi niya, ito yung question niya. Can you suggest how can I cope with boredom in my work? Napakagandang
Gusto ko
tanong,
yung
no?
tanong niya.
You know, so suggestions of how you can cope boredom with your work.
Una, siguro, hindi, sasagutin mo na ba, Jose?
Sige, ikaw since muna, then ako.
Ako ang gusto kong i-investigate is what's boring about the work, you know? Like, in short, nagagawa yung work mo in 5 minutes, tapos the rest of the day, okay ka na. Parang, ang tagal mo nga, parang tapos mo na yung Excel file, tapos siguro nag-antay ka ng 2 oras para ma-send mo. Para isend mo para sabihin, ay parang okay, it'll probably take others that long. Tapos bored ka na. So, I want you to investigate. Silipin mo yung bakit sa nanggagaling yung boredom. And then, I want you to now write down what is it first about your work that you did love or that you did like, right? And then, nawala na ba yun? Okay.
Yeah.
And then, yun, no? Nawala na ba yun? And then, siguro gawa ka ng yung lifescape, balikan mo yung lifescape mo. Kasi kung hindi na nag-a-align at bored ka na, abay, oras na para mag-isip.
It's time.
It's time. And take the course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Magandang way.
Yeah. The other thing though, because sometimes it's very difficult to find new jobs, right? New opportunities.
Totoo yan. Hindi naman ako idealist.
What I've done in my past, my personal experience, I've been working since 1995. Kasama ko si Cindy. Just kidding. We've known each other since 1991. Since we're college.
And 95, nagtatrabaho na talaga tayo. Hindi man tayo.
95, yeah. And I've had my share of jobs. Some were interesting, some were not.
Yeah.
And in those times na nabore ako, okay, at actually ako, mabilis talaga ako mabore. I would look at, first and foremost, wag mo papabayaan yung current na trabaho. Kasi parang yan yung foundation mo. If you do that well, then you can move on to other things. Okay. And what I've done is I found out, I look around in my company, assuming that you cannot just move, right? Yeah. I look around in my company, ano ba yung mga problema? Ano ba yung mga latest in terms of projects or initiatives? And then, ang ginagawa ko noon, kasi medyo bibo din ako, and because I was also bored with my role, I would ask my supervisor, can I do other things? May kailangan ba akong pwedeng itulong sa inyo? And then actually, noong una, medyo nagulat sa akin yung supervisor ko. Sabi niya, siguro, ano to? Weird, humingi pa ng bagong trabaho. But because I knew I could already take care of my own work, I had capacity to actually do more work. And yun, that simple question, nagkaroon ng project. Yung boss ng boss niya nagkaroon ng project. And then he referred me to that project. O eto, may extra time to. Mukhang okay naman kasi hindi niya napapabayaan yung trabaho niya. Then na-assign ako. And that became an opportunity for me to actually move to a different job in the same company. And later on, actually, yung pinaka-peak nun, I actually got moved to our headquarters in Switzerland.
Nice.
Because of being able to always be bored, number one, but part of that boredom is being able to ask myself, where am I needed? So it also goes back to your purpose, right? And for me, my personal purpose is to help people and organizations think of how they can do things better and think of the future. And kahit simple yun, di ba? That has actually helped me to also live my own purpose and lead a life of authenticity. So I hope I was able to.
That was a great
answer your question.
Yeah, that's a great answer, Jose. May tanong daw, sabi ni Alma and Gabby.
Yeah. We actually have an answer. Someone raised their hand, si Editha. Would you like to ask your question, Editha? Let's give her a bit of time. Yan. Hi, Editha. You're free to unmute. Yan.
Actually, ako po yung...
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like crying.
Oh, Editha, we're here.
I'm so sorry po. Sorry po.
That's okay. Let it out.
Actually, ako po yung nagtanong na board na sa job kasi po I've been here in school. Actually po I am a guidance counselor. So I've
Wow.
been here for almost 29 years. Ako po ay 49 years old pero I'm working here for almost 29 years with the same institution. Para po bang I feel this past few years nung nag-start po yung pandemic, I feel empty na. Yung po bang parang ayoko na, parang pagod na po ako, parang I don't like to work na. Yung po bang yung boredom po talaga strikes me. So, and up to now, siguro po because of the duty per se, kaya ko po ginagawa yung work na to. Kaya sabi ko, I'm asking, can you suggest me para ma-uplift yung po bang yung self-esteem ko na parang bumagsak po. I feel
Yes.
down right now po. So thank you so much po. And naano ko naman po yung sagot niyo po. Para lang po, I want to share it na
Gusto mo lang ilabas.
yes po. Kasi nga po,
Yes.
I really like, kanina po ako, feel ko pong umiyak talaga. Kumbaga, I want to share yung feelings na, hey, can someone help me? I want to share yung feelings po na, really, I'm so down. Para po bang bumagsak talaga yung self-esteem ko.
I just want to tell you, Editha, first, love to you. And if I could just hug you right now, I'm going to do that. I'm doing it right now. Salamat sa pag-share kasi gaya ng sabi natin kanina, hindi ka nag-iisa. Lahat tayo dumaan dyan. At ayokong malaking factor yung fact na nawalan ka na ng gana, guidance counselor ka, di ba? So ikaw rin yung pinagkukuhaan ng lakas ng maraming estudyante, tao, people. You are a powerful force, I'm sure, in the school that you're working in. Am I right, Miss Editha?
Yes po.
Yes. And they look to you. Alam ba nila na ito yung nararamdaman mo? Alam ba ng mga, let's say, your immediate, supervisor? Alam ba nila how you are feeling? Do they know?
No po.
No. And one of the things that I want to tell you is, lahat tayo nandiyan ngayon. Ang first thing na encourage ko sa inyo is the fact that you attended today, you're not giving up. I want to tell you that. Power to you. I want to give you a round of applause and a shake, shake, shake. Because that's real talk, right? Now, I've had that as well, underlying throughout this year. Like, where am I going? I've lost it. And to think we're the ones that help people, right? Our role is closely connected to people. So I can only speak for my own experience. What I did was I aligned with the star or purpose, which is I have to get up every day. One of my North Stars is a person, and that's my daughter. Okay. So, on days na ikaw hindi ka makatayo, pero ako kailangan ko tumayo kasi I need to check her, right? Check on her, kumusta ka na. Yun, ginagamit ko yun na tool, okay? So is there someone in your life? And look at what John is saying. My guidance counselor is one of the best friends right now. She contributed to who I am today. She gave me so much clarity and sense of worth. You're a very important person. You mean so much to your group, more than you know. Ang daming love po para sa inyo, Miss Editha, na sa chat box. So who are these people you love and love you that inspire you to get up? Okay, that's one. The second one I would say is, what's your prescription for yourself? Because you need to write it down when you're ready. And please message me at Cindy Lightness on Instagram or on
sa Instagram
I am
natin,
the corporate
LifeCraft.
or sa my LifeCraft na andun naman eh, 'di ba?
Actually po, nag-join na kagad nga po.
Ayan, nag-join ka na. Very good.
Really po, nung clinas nyo po yung inyong link, I already click it and talaga pong nag-join ako. Kasi nga, Siguro po nga,
mag-usap tayo.
it is the
Kasi,
time.
yeah, it is time. And it is time for you to really also give yourself the care and love that you're giving everybody. I am not putting it lightly. Kasi yan din po ang sakit ko eh. Alam to ni Jose.
At sakit ko din yan.
Sakit din niya. See? So, dahil enjoy tayo masyado sa ginagawa natin, caring for others, no, biglang na-realize natin, teka, hindi na pala ganun kalaki ngayon yung kaya ko kasi andyan yung pandemic eh. And this is worldwide, global to. Alam yan ni Nikki at ni John, di ba? At ng positive workplaces because they also have that data. So, look back on the life, reflect on all the wonderful things that you've done. And I want you to just simply do a quick win today and write down, what do you love about you? For example, I am grateful that I took the chance and attended today. Or I am a loving person. And then maybe one more. Can you say one good thing about yourself right now? Miss Editha?
Ano po, I just want a simple life. Enjoy the simple things in life.
I want to enjoy the simple things in life. So you can say, I am easy to please. Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. When you say, I am easy to please, does that have a shift inside you? Does that change how you feel about yourself?
Yeah, ma'am.
By twisting that thought. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Siguro nga po, I don't have a lot of time because I always care for others. So parang
Yeah.
nawalan ako ng sa sarili ko.
yes, kasi you really care a lot eh. And that's wonderful. We need you and we love you for doing that because I know the world is a better place with you in it. But the other side of it is, right? The one that heals also needs healing. So what is healing for you? What's medicine for you? What's your medicine? So one is, I want you to be writing down every hour, if you can, or just verbally say an affirmation. I'm loving, I am easy to please. I enjoy doing things for others, and I love myself for that. And try to write down more of these things. Now, the other aspect that you could look at is the belief in your mind, which is the thought that comes to you, which is, I'm tired of this life. Ayoko na, I'm bored. Okay? Anong kabaliktaran nun?
I still want to enjoy life. Or
Okay.
I want to be with others, share my thoughts, my feelings, and my happiness with them.
Beautiful. So you just instantly shifted that thought into, I want to live my life. What? I want to share my life with more and enjoy my life, right? So if I'm going to take it further from the I am bored with my life, let's shift it to I enjoy my life. I love my life. Okay. Now, with that statement, I love my life, what action are you going to take right now to love the life that you have right now? What do you think? What's the first step?
Probably I need a self-reflection.
Okay, that's one. What's another one?
Another
What can you do?
is
Yeah.
share what's yung feelings ko to the
Yun.
closest friends or someone na I think I can share everything.
Beautiful. Hindi nyo pa na-share to kahit kanino. You're keeping it inside?
Sa husband ko po.
Okay. Alam niya. Pero wala
Yes,
na iba outside him na nakakaalam.
Wala na po.
Oh, then you do need that support group. You need that. Okay, what's one more thing? Come on.
And then, siguro po kasi yung matagal ko ng plano na I want to go back to study kasi right now, I'm pursuing my, actually hindi pa po kasi ako master's degree.
Yeah.
So, probably that's na, yun po yung kasi yung target goal ko noon eh, makatapos po ng masteral and then to the doctoral. Pero dahil nga po siguro because of the budget constraint, hindi ko po talaga mapagpatuloy. And then siguro po probably it is now the time, I think. So po.
I love what I'm hearing. Audience in the chat box, could you show some love for Miss Editha for the 3 actions that she's come up with and the shifting of her limiting belief and thought and the pain and her turning that pain into power right now? You just did that. Do you feel that, Miss Editha?
Yes po, yes.
Now you know what to do.
Yeah.
You went in,
And
isn't it?
parang gusto ko pong mag-join sa inyong community.
Yeah,
Join
please
it.
join.
Maganda.
Yeah.
And you're
Yes.
already a member now.
Yeah.
You're already a
The
member.
fact na you reached out to us,
Yeah.
ano
Yeah.
na po yun.
Yeah. Oh, you've got some love in the chat box, ma'am.
Thank
There
you
you
so
go.
much.
Woohoo. But there you go. One thought, balik ta rin natin. Let's challenge that thought. Let's twist it. And then write down what can I do? And now we know you have a dream. The masters is there. Nabubuhayan ka ulit. Tama ba? This the job now doesn't feel so boring if definitely you pursue your masters and you do some research and you can look at your work as a form of research. Miss Editha?
Yes.
Yeah. And don't just say yes to me, you can say no too. Say, hindi nag-work. Pwede rin yun.
Yes po, nagwo-work po, ma'am.
Oo, kasi ano siya, thoughts, it's cognitive behavioral, in CBT, no? You know this, ma'am, right? Thoughts, if you challenge the thought, that our thoughts affect our emotions and our behavior, isn't it? So if we shift the thought, our actions change and then our behavior changes. So there's 3 things that I normally say, 3 A's. No, first is we have to accept 4 things. Number 1, we accept the situation where we are right now. This is where I am. I feel like I'm in a rut. Okay. The second step is I need you to act. You have to act, step out, do something to work on the things that are not working right now. One simple step, which you already did. The third is because you've acted, oh my gosh, that feels great. I talked to one of the people I trust at work or my supervisor and they understand how I'm feeling, right? So as you've talked, that's the action you took. Brilliant. And by talking, sinabi niya sa, take a break. Maybe we can give you a scholarship for your master's or partial scholarship or whatever. And then by doing that, you adjust based on the action that you took. Or maybe you took an action and it didn't work your way, adjust, right? But before you adjust, there's a key part. You have to assess. Okay? So accept, act, and then after the action, assess how did that action fly? Did it work? Does it go toward the direction that you want? Is it closer to your North Star? Does it align with you? And then adjust accordingly. Now, after you've adjusted, you go back to act again. Okay? Maybe there's something new you need to accept, act, right? Assess, adjust. Does that make sense? Yeah? I hope so. If it does, type a 1 on the screen on the chat box. And thank you for all the love, everybody. Yeah. We're all in this together.
Yes. Thank you so much, Editha. I think parang it's not just your voice that we heard. I think a lot of people in this meeting room really resonated with what you're going through. So thank you very much for showing us that vulnerability. And I hope that the actions or the tips that Coach Karen, Cindy, and Prof. D shared will help you as you move forward. So we have just one more question, and it's from Abigail. So the talk was really informative on how to achieve the life we want for ourselves. On the other hand, if we are lost on what kind of life or goal we want for ourselves, what can you advise? And how can we find?
Jose?
So I think that's a really good question, because normally yun yung tanong ng maraming tao. And yun din yung tanong we created this passion project. And I think one important thing is to have that beginner mindset. To have that mindset of someone who's just starting. And regardless of your experience, regardless of your age, I think it's very important to have that beginner mindset to say that, how can I do better? What are the things that I can do differently? What are the new things that I can learn? Right? And I think that's where it starts. As what Cindy mentioned earlier, the by doing something now, right? Regardless of how small it is, this first step that we do reveals the next steps.
Indeed.
So in our quest, if we do the things that we love and enjoy, that actually reveals a lot more things that give us that love, that joy, that life that we want to lead. So,
Yeah.
so for example, it can be as simple as eto, nag-usap kami ni Cindy. Cindy, we're down at the beginning of 2020.
Yeah.
We were so down about what was happening with the lockdown, with what was happening with our friends, our families, even in terms of yung work namin, it suddenly became very constrained. And we
Yeah.
said, let's do something that will bring us joy in a way. So we've always been talking about just talking several years now, talking about doing something together. So we said, okay, let's do something together. And we sort of in the one and two, I think 1 to 2 months yun since
Yeah.
where we actually brought our ideas together and we developed this LifeCraft course, sharing our experiences, sharing our own backgrounds from futures thinking and from coaching Cindy and working with people and organizations through the years. So we just did that, without having any real intention, right? But in the course of that, we've touched many organizations. We've worked with different types of people. I think marami na sila in the past year alone. Okay, and now
Yes.
we're here. We're here, right? We're here. So that simple step, that decision, coupled with an action to explore new things, actually has enabled us to reach this. Naka 2 seasons na kami ng podcast.
Yeah.
It's fantastic that we're here. We're meeting all of you, and to be able to at least have a little bit of difference in your day-to-day and hopefully your lives moving forward. That's something that just started with a simple decision and a simple action, right?
And
Since
yes, Jose, and I want to give power to that because if we were feeling lost, and I want to tell you that it's okay to feel lost. And second, congratulations, you're lost. It's time to find the new self within or the evolution of the self. And I'm not kidding because you're meeting the Cindy today, who is the product of so many Cindys of the past. Karen Cindy, yeah, that's my name. But Jose, Cindy evolved, diba? So, nag-iiba-iba. Nag-iiba tayo. Ang buhay, nag-grow tayo bilang mga tao. So, innate sa ating mga tao na maghanap ng bago, mawala, at hanapin muli ang sarili. Paano gagawin yon? Gaya ng sinabi ni Jose, in-investigate namin yung loss. Hindi kaya madali nung ginawa namin tong course. Alam niyo kung bakit? We had to apply it to ourselves. So, may assignment si Jose sa akin. Ang tagal bago ko nagawa. You know why? I was scared. When I invested, I was scared because I knew my life was gonna change. And I was also feeling lost because I had just started. I lost my father in late 2018. And I'm very close to my dad. I just started the corporate coach at that time, went on, spread my wings and started this new thing. And I was, the whole of 2019, there was a major life crisis we had in the family. I thought someone very close to me was also going to be gone. Okay. And then finally, I got those wings back. And then 2020 happened. So all the team buildings, all the coaching sessions, I had a place, everything I had set in place as an entrepreneur and serving the people I love was gone, was put to a stop by the pandemic. So I started offering things for free. I just kept doing it, coaching for free, workshops for free, but at the same time, we need to make money already, right? Because you got to put food on the table. And from the free stuff, Jose and I talked and came up with LifeCraft. But while we were doing LifeCraft, we were also testing it on ourselves, right? And I found out I was lost and found so many times in the process. the way of finding the self is, number one, if right now, when you were young and things weren't working out and you feel the trauma right now, you're getting triggered. There's things in your past, people, etc., that have hurt you, especially in your childhood. Number one, I need you to get help. Okay, because that's therapy. That's one. Okay, you need a psychologist or a therapist to work on you with that. Now, if you want to move forward with this, you're feeling lost and you want to take action, one of the things is to get a coach or be your own coach. Develop that within yourself by taking, like you took this course today, maybe you can take the course so you can figure it out, because there is a way through. And the first thing you need to look at is what got you here, right? Why are you feeling lost? What are the emotions attached to that? What are the thoughts attached to that? And then now, where do you want to go? Oh, Cindy, I don't know where to go. It's okay. Take the next step. What feels good for you? What feels light for you right now? Don't pressure yourself. I don't know
it
if I
starts
answered
with that.
that. Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
starts with that. Going back to the pockets of joy.
Yes.
If you can
yes.
do more of that, imagine
It will
if
lead you.
imagine it will lead you as,
Yeah.
as it will
And-
lead you to more fun things in your life, right?
And we dive deeper in the course in all those activities. Hinihimay namin lahat yan dun sa course din.
Yeah.
Oo,
And
pero
and part of
Yeah,
it
go
is really charting also. Not
Yeah.
just one, not just two, but three different ways, different directions for
directions.
and that's
Yeah.
really exciting because we really challenge you to really dig deep, but also look beyond in terms of what you can do. So
Yeah.
exciting.
Exciting time ang pagiging lost kasi you're going to now go on a self-discovery again. That's the fun part, because you have to accept the fact that you've changed, or you're the same and you want to shift. You want to discover, or you wanna be, live your life fully. And if you love, for example, basketball or gardening, or or you like doing makeup, and and whatever it is you love, just something you love to do, or like make instant coffee but make it yummy and then put it on YouTube and then have so many people look at it. I'm not kidding. That whole Dalgona coffee thing.
Yeah.
So many people made money by just copying, mimicking what others did. They put it on YouTube and they have so many views. Then when I looked at the videos, they're not all great, but hey, they put it there and then they start making money. And I'm not kidding. Just be open, okay? Open up. And I'm proud of you for asking that question, because it takes a lot to say, nawala ako ng landas. Pero actually, hindi ka nawawala. May hinahanap ka lang na bagong path. Uy, ganda. Ganda.
Ayun. I actually just want to thank Abigail and Edith.
Abigail. Oh.
Yeah, you guys are very brave for really putting yourselves out there. I think that human interaction, especially with you, Edith, was such a beautiful moment. Even for everyone here in the audience, we really felt it. Ayun, we want to thank you, Coach Cindy and Prof D. I wish we had more time because I feel like we would go on with questions, and we loved hearing your topics. We want to thank you so much for your very amazing talk on crafting an authentic life. And alam mo, I feel like a lot of the people here will want to know more about you. Kaya i-search nyo lang ang LifeCraft, message them on Instagram, and again, use those links that Coach Cindy and Prof D sent to you. So, ayun, so that was them, and I really want to thank you guys for that. So, ayan.
Thank you, Ama. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, everybody, for being here today, for having us, for working it through, and we'll work on it together. We haven't figured everything out, we're still working it out.
Yeah.
And thank
that's
you.
that's the best and exciting
That's
part.
the fun
right?
part. Yeah.
If we have all of the answers, then it's not going to be fun anymore.
Yes.
Because
And-
everything is laid out. But
Yeah.
the fact that we can ask our questions, we feel that we can do more, that there's more in our lives, that in itself says
And-
that we are growing, right?
Right. And love positive workplaces, because I believe and I support what you're doing. We are aligned in that principle. LifeCraft is, my own practice is. Keep doing what you're doing. We need you. We need you in this world. We need everybody. We all need each other. Come on. We are each other's medicine. If you don't have a prescription, that person beside you or this whole group, you've got it here. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
everybody. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it. God bless you.
Yes, thank you again
Thank
for the
you.
both of you. So ayan, so that was Coach Cindy and Prof D in today's free webinar series. So that was our free webinars. We Positive Workplace of course also does other things. Here I'm about to show you ang aming training calendar. Of course, I won't go in depth na because all of this you can find on our website. If you just simply search Positive Workplaces on facebook.com, you'll find the group and everything is there. So you've gotten a taste on what it is to be part of a free webinar. If you're a part of a company and you feel like your company is in need of trainings, or you yourself feel like you need that extra boost in something called leadership, communication, strat plan, we offer many courses and it's up to you if you think you need it or you want to share it to others. So ayun, so feel free to visit our site for that. Next naman, we just want to put out there that we actually have a promo for our latest course coming out for Positive Workforce Reintegration course. Basically, if babalik ka na sa work, so what are the new tips you need and to get better? So there's 50% off boosted individuals. And of course, just like LifeCraft, we also have our Facebook, our YouTube. Feel free to check us out. And lastly, important. So for those who want to claim their e-certificate, please answer our post-evaluation form that we will be sending there. Nasa na post ni Joyce. And I guess I just want to put here in post-evaluation na I think the power is really within you guys. Every month we have a new theme and new topics to propose, and we get a lot of ideas from each and every one of you guys. So I want you to know that the power is in your hands, and if you tell us a suggestion, we will really take it into account. So please answer honestly and pour your heart out in the post evaluations. The form will open now and will only be open for 30 minutes. So again,
Yeah, I want to ask, are we going to have a group photo?
I actually
Yeah.
yes, okay. So for everyone that's still here, we can
Yeah,
take
we have
photos.
149. Yeah. Let's have some photos.
Okay, let
Yeah.
me stop sharing. Ayan.
Mga camera ready.
Yun.
So ayan, kung may camera kayo, ibukas
Turn on your cameras,
Turn on
everybody.
your cameras,
Yeah,
everyone.
so nice to see everyone.
Yan. Hi.
Hello,
Oh,
hello.
lovely.
Right,
Great.
it's great to see you all. Okay, sige, I
Yeah.
think I can be the one to take our photo. No? Okay. Sige, ayan. So, magka 3, 2, 1 po ko and keep smiling kasi marami. Mga 6 pages po to.
Pages.
Okay? Okay, yan. Ready na po ba? Okay. Okay. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, next page. Okay, keep smiling po. Ayan. Yay. Okay, thank you everyone for coming. Again, thank you Coach Karen, Cindy, and Prof. D. To everyone that appreciated the talk, please follow us on Positive Workplaces and also in LifeCraft. So, ayan. Thank you everybody.
Thank you. Bye. God bless.
Bye.
Thank you.
Happy 2022.
Yes. Happy 2022. Hope to see you in our LifeCraft course. Bye.